Hello everyone. Today I'm going to share with you my recipe for making dog cookies because my dogs really like those things. So we're going to do that, but first I had to go this morning and pick up my Azure Standard order. And I haven't gone as often lately, but there's certain things that I did want to pick up and I took this opportunity to do it. First of all, if you haven't discovered their canning jars, I love them. These things are heavy duty. They're perfect for pressure canning or water bath if you want, but I also love them for storage, and especially these half-gallon size jars. And they're kind of a soda glass green, which is different from the ball jars, which are like this. But they're also noticeably heavier. These things, as soon as you take one out, you notice the difference in them. So I use this half-gallon size for storing my working stock of grains and beans, and especially my different wheat berries, the ancient grains. And then I refill these from buckets where I store the main part of them. But these are a good size for working out of, and they are very sturdy. You can buy them with or without lids and bands. And I love that these jars use Superb brand lids, and those are my favorite. I'll use other lids, but Superb is my favorite. I didn't buy the lids and bands this time because I have plenty and there was no reason to get them. So you save a little bit of money by buying just the jars. But you can buy them either way, and then they have the half-gallon, the quarts, and the pints. I believe they are just now coming out with wide mouth pints and also wide mouth pint and a half. I haven't seen those yet, but I'll be getting some of those because, as I said, these are heavy jars, and I'm still using all of my old jars, all of my ball and cur, and some very old ones that I have also. But I really love having these Azure Standard canning jars. And one thing that's different is instead of having raised lettering on the outside and your labels are gonna pucker where they don't fit smoothly, this is actually engraved into the glass. So yes, it's got Azure logo on there and everything, but you don't have a raised surface. So you can put labels on these. But I just like the way they look too. So I bought a couple of cases of the half-gallon because I use them, and then Brian comes and borrows them too. So this way we both have some. And things are getting crazy everywhere. And food prices, and it's just gone crazy. I have pinto beans put away, and they are still good. They will keep a long time. But what I found is the older the beans get, the harder they are and the longer it takes to cook. So every once in a while I like to buy some more to replenish the stock and work through them, because yeah, it's just more power use in order to cook those beans. So I ordered some organic pinto beans, and I'd never seen this before. It's coconut whipping cream. So this, we'll see how it works. It's supposed to whip up like whipped cream, but it's coconut This is made from organic coconut extract, organic guar gum, and that contains tree nuts, which coconut. But I thought this would be really good on any kind of tropical kind of dessert, or anything with, if it's with pineapple, with it, if it's coconut, whatever. I think this would make a great whipped topping. So I'm gonna give it a try, and it's supposed to whip up really well. And this ugly looking stuff, I'm sorry to say it, but it really is burdock root. And this is organic burdock root. Let's see if I can show you. And I have bought burdock root before and cooked with it. I like to roast it in the oven, and it just comes out really good. There you see, that's pretty. It's not pretty, but it does taste good. I peeled this, I washed it, peeled it, cut it up, and I put it in olive oil with seasonings and roasted that in the oven, and it really tasted good. But burdock root has health benefits. And it's been traditionally used as an antioxidant, it's as a blood cleaner. It has a number of different uses, and I'm not going to tell you those things because that's giving health advice. I can't do that. But I will tell you, go look it up online. So look up burdock, B-U-R-D-O-C-K, root, and this is organic. And I believe that I've heard you can get this in Asian markets. I haven't gone to look yet, and I keep meaning to, but when I go to town, I'm usually running and trying to get home. So I got a bunch of this. We'll be roasting this. You could add carrots and other things with it, or just the burdock root by itself. I'm really excited to find this again because they haven't had it for a while. And then I'm gonna try this because right now the critters outside, now the Mormon crickets mostly pass through without doing too much damage, but they were babies, and now they left behind their little troop back here to lay eggs, and so we have those out here. I'm trying to keep them from doing damage, but we also have no-see-ums, and not really mosquitoes, but other buzzing insects. So I'm going to give this a try. It's Buzz Away Extreme, and it repels mosquitoes and ticks, and it's plant-based, and it contains geraniol, citronella oil, peppermint oil, thyme oil, clove oil. And so I'm going to give this a try for me, but also for the dogs, because you know what, and I may be careful because something I need to check. Some things may not be safe to put on dogs, so I'm going to have to look at that. But I know that for me, going out in the garden to water and to take care of it right now, it's not been fun because all of the little critters trying to bite me. So that's my Azure haul, I guess. Other than I also bought 5-gallon buckets from them. And I also bought 6 of the Gamma lids because I do store grains and, rice and wheat berries, different things in 5-gallon buckets, and these make it really easy to get in and out. Sugar, anything like that I buy in bulk, I'll store it in 5-gallon buckets, and I'll use a Gamma lid to make it easy to get to. It's so much easier than prying a lid off. So I got 6 of the Gamma lids, and I got 6 of the 5-gallon buckets. Again, Brian borrows them. So I have to replenish my buckets. So that's my Azure haul for this month. And if you're interested in seeing what Azure Standard can do for you and find drops nearby you, or just explore the different types of products that they have, I'll have my link below in the comment section so that you can go down and check it out for yourself. I feel I spend less money on a number of things with Azure Standard, and for me, the shipping is not an issue. There is a small charge if you're somewhere else in the country, so you have to look at that, but it's not anywhere near what I have seen the shipping charges on from other grain suppliers mostly. For me to get grain shipped to me is very expensive for most places, and Azure makes it much more affordable. So check that out. And they have a lot of ancient grains. So now on to making the dog cookies. I'm gonna make a double batch, but I'm gonna tell you the ingredients for a single batch, and I'll try and put that recipe below for you. It's very easy, and you can do so many things to customize it to make it better. But the basic recipe is 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour. Half a cup of wheat germ, and I'm just going to mix those together. Now I'm going to add to that, the recipe calls for half a cup of melted bacon fat. I'm mixing half bacon fat and half lard, and you just want it not solid. And of course, the puppies are going to love this. And yeah, bacon grease probably isn't the best because it has salt, but hey, these are cookies. They don't get much of this. So I'm just gonna stir that in a little bit. One egg. Again, I'm making a double batch, but I'm giving you the amounts for a single. The recipe calls for half a cup of cold water, but you know what? I'm going to use chicken stock, my homemade. And I don't add any salt in it, so it's safe for them. And we're just going to combine that well. that seems a little loose. I'm going to add a little more whole wheat flour. And since this is whole wheat, I'm gonna let this sit for a little while, maybe 5-10 minutes, to make sure that all of the liquid is absorbed. And then I'll come back and get these dog cookies ready for the oven, because I know my dogs are gonna be real happy tonight. So now I'm gonna get this ready for the cookies, and I need a floured board. And since I doubled this, I'm gonna actually just take about half. And you can roll this out, but actually I'm just gonna pat it out. I think it's gonna be a lot easier to do. I want it maybe not quite ½ inch thick. And I'm going to try and get it in a rectangle. Now, if you've got some really cute little bone-shaped cookie cutters, which I have, but I'm not going to get them out, you can use those. Me, we're going to do it the easy way. And I'm just gonna roll, let me see, I think I'll do 3 across. And then I'll do it like this. Pretty easy. Then I'm gonna take just a wooden chopstick, but whatever you have is fine, and poke some holes. And there you go. Dog cookies. And I just have a parchment lined baking sheet. And I'm just gonna lay them on there, get them ready for the oven. The oven's been preheated to 350 degrees. You don't have to use parchment paper. I just like to, it's just always easier to clean up. I'm going to do the same with the other half and then get these ready for the oven. So I've got the dog cookies ready to go in the oven. It's going to depend on the thickness of your cookies. These may take longer, but start looking around 20 minutes. You're looking for them to be lightly browned. These took a little bit longer to cook because I've made them kind of thick, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. So I've taken them out, and now I'm going to turn them over. I may just try and do this by hand. It'll be hot, but I think it'll be fine. And if you look really closely, you can see that they're kind of golden brown on the bottom. It's hard to tell because of the whole wheat flour, but they are golden brown. And we still want to leave a little bit of space between them, so I'm just going to kind of move them around a little. Now I'm going to put these back in the oven, but I'm turning the oven off. And I just want to let them stay in there until they're completely cool. So the cookies, she heard that word, the cookies are ready. And this is Miss Fannie Belle, who the last time you saw her, she was quite a bit smaller, and she knows what I have. She can smell it. Miss Fannie Belle, down. Good girl. So we're going to do a taste test because I'm not tasting them, although I could. There's nothing bad in them. But little Chowhound wants, she can smell it. No, you don't. Good girl. That's a good girl. Okay, here we go. There's one of the cookies down. And Miss Fannie Belle is going to do the taste test. Are you ready? You ready? Gonna nibble? So I baked these, then turned the oven off, turned them over, and let them sit for a couple of hours until they totally cooled. You want to taste? Yeah? What do you think? So far, so good. The other dogs, I know, are going to love them. You want your cookie? I got your cookie. Look, I got it. I got your cookie. So, basic ingredients for the most part. You might have to buy wheat germ, but you could even do without that. You could add cheese. There's so many different ways you could vary this recipe. And I think I have a seal of approval from Miss Fannie Belle. So I hope you give this a try. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate all of you. I love you, and I'm just so grateful that you're joining me in these videos. Thank you, and God bless. Is that pretty good?